Ladies and gentlemen, next slide please. Ladies and gentlemen, our theater act, please give it up for our theater acting panel tonight. We're very excited. Grab this stand over there. That's perfect. And the flowers. Gotta have the flowers. So, a couple of years ago, Laura and I put together an actors panel, followed by another actors panel, followed by a writers panel, followed by a directors panel, and tonight we have our theater actors panel. And so we're very excited to have some amazing guests tonight. I'm going to introduce them. Go ahead. You guys go ahead. Starting off with, next slide please, Carolyn Chave is a Syracuse-based actor. Some of her recent theatrical credits include 5 Women Wearing the Same Dress, Lettre du Mât, and House for a Mouse, Levi's Relic, The Thin Place, No Exit. Carolyn is passionate about new works and is grateful to have been able to participate in the developmental workshop productions for the Slasherland Project at Babelfest, The Waiting Room, The Witch Project, and No Comment. So I've left all the theaters because I am a little dyslexic. Please give it up for Carolyn Chave. Binaifer Dabu is a storyteller, educator, and actor whose work spans India, Boston, Off-Broadway's Lion Theater, the Central New York region. She has collaborated with a diverse range of theater companies, independent film projects, and commercial productions. Some favorite roles include Dr. Lynn Cummings in A Rock Sails By, which I saw, she was amazing. George Sand in Lettre du Mât, Violet Weston, August Osage County, which I also saw, incredible. I lost my place. Puck in A Midsummer Night's Dream, and Nora in A Doll's House. Alongside her work on stage, she explores writing and devising original work through solo performances. Her one-woman show, Fires, premiered at the Rochester Fringe Festival and was later presented at the Pivot Festival at Lemoyne College. In 2025, her short solo work, Sagan, was performed at Red House Art Center as part of Babelfest. Through all of her work, Binaifer is drawn to stories that invite dialogue, foster belonging, and celebrate cultural connection. Please give it up for Binaifer Dabu. Jay Merante is a local actor, writer, director, producer. He serves on the production board for Syracuse Shakespeare in the Park and is a playwright for Armorsburg Playwrights. His greatest directing achievement was co-directing Hamlet for SSITP in June of 2024. A memorable role for Jay was playing Elijah, photographer Jesse Dunlap, Mr. Sillers in Inherit the Wind for the Red House, a role which he received a Best Supporting Actor nomination for from Broadway World. Other favorite roles include Benedict in Much Ado About Nothing, Little Charles in August Osage County, which I saw, Baldwinsville Theater Guild, and Luddy Watts in The Trip to Bountiful for Appleseed Productions. Currently, Jay writes skits for his YouTube channel, Jay Merante Comedy. He'll be directing Dinner with Friends in September of this year for Great Northern Artists Collaborative and was recently promoted to co-chair, we're announcing this, of programming for SAS. Jay also won Best Actor, I added this, at the inaugural SAS Fest Film Festival this year for his lead roles in Funny Man and American Claudius, which he also co-wrote and co-produced. Please give it up for Jay Merante. And our moderator, Donna Stuccio, is a native of the coal mine, next slide please, I'm sorry. Native of the coal mine region of northeastern Pennsylvania, is a graduate of Syracuse University's drama department and has an MFA in creative writing, playwriting program at Goddard College. She began appearing on CNY stages as a sophomore in the inaugural season of Syracuse Stage in their production of La Ronde, directed by Arthur Storch. This set in motion a deep commitment to Central New York theater community. Donna has performed with numerous CNY companies, most notably and most fondly Rex Henriette, Salt City Playhouse, and the Talent Company. She was cast as Laura in The Glass Menagerie, performed at Salt City, the last show directed by Dr. Gerald Reidenbach, a brilliant artistic director of Syracuse Repertory Theater, which later became Syracuse Stage. Donna also has had a deep and abiding commitment to create a safe space for playwrights having served Armory Square Playwrights as president for 25 years. Give it up for that. She is a fierce supporter of emerging local playwrights. Many of her own plays developed through the support of Armory Square Playwrights for the past 30 years have been read and produced on stages through Central New York and the country, including Alaska, Kansas, Louisiana, New Jersey, Brooklyn, Florida, and Philadelphia, Cape May, and of course Zoom. Her full-length play based on the lives of police officers, Blue Moon, The Job, and Eulogy in Blue, have all had successful runs on local stages. Donna is a member of the New York City-based Dramatists Guild Playwrights Group and the Philadelphia Dramatists Center. She was selected for several developmental playwriting conferences, including the Midwest Theater Conference, Southampton Writing Conference, Last Frontier, Kennedy Center Summer Intensive, and the National Playwright Symposium in Cape May. Most recently, she completed a one-year grad adventure serving as a writing tutor through AmeriCorps Montana Campus Compact on the Blackfeet Nation in Browning, Montana, at Blackfeet Community College, a small but mighty tribal college. She is a proud member of the Dramatists Guild of America, and you may follow her work on the New Play Exchange. Please give it up for Donna Stusio. I'm going to extend the time so you guys can have as much time as we said. I'm going to hand this microphone over to...
What draws you to new theater, to developmental process?
Yeah, so it's interesting. When I first graduated from my theater program, I decided I was only going to do Kenneth Lonergan plays for the rest of my life. And it turns out there's no money in that. So yeah, I graduated with my theater degree, and I was looking on Playbill, and there was a ad for casting here in Syracuse for a developmental show called Immigration Dialogue back in 2019, which was a play that was being devised completely based off of interviews in Syracuse. If you're not aware, Syracuse is a sanctuary city. Yeah, I got hired for that, and that was money. And it ended up being really, really cool. I like how hands-on it is with the community. I like how hands-on it is with the audience. You're receiving feedback, you're adjusting from there. So after that show, I joined an ensemble-based theater company called Building Company Theater, based here in Syracuse. Yeah. And then from there, I feel like once you do something in New Works, you're known for being flexible. Because the thing about New Works is every day you're getting a new script. Every day things are, massively changing. Things are being cut. So yeah, I think the coolest project I've done as far as New Works that I was like, I'm hooked on this, was I did a show in Connecticut called The Waiting Room, where it was, again, largely based on interviews. It was primarily people from New York. They housed us in Mystic, Connecticut, which was beautiful, for 3 weeks. And then we wrote a piece in a week, and then the next year we brought it to the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center. So yeah, check out New Works, follow the money, do things that you didn't think that you would like, because it turns out you might.
Playwrights love to hear about actors who plays. Yes. Okay.
Right up.
Is it on? Oh. So you're just using my big voice, but yeah, I guess it's not so big anymore. Okay, so I have a couple questions for you. I I wrote this one after reading, and I know you. So what differentiates the storyteller from the actor? I don't know if they're distinctly very different or they have steal from each other. And what we talked about earlier, how the American audition process, based on our culture. Tell us about your American experience in the audition ritual.
Thank you for the question. So I'll go with the first one. What distinguishes a storyteller from the actor? I think we are all storytellers. And to be a storyteller, if you are a storyteller, which all of us are, you can be a storyteller in any field, in any genre. You could be a CEO of a corporate world, and you're a storyteller. If you're able to move people to do an action, if you're able to move people to do and inspire them to do, it doesn't have to be on stage. It could be in an office. It could be at a teller line. It could be behind a bar in a restaurant. It could be anything. Then you are a storyteller. Because stories have a way to connect, and stories have a way to dream, and stories have a way to create magic. So I think each and every one of us have a story within us, and we are all storytellers. So I think that's one thought. The other thought, does it distinguish? Is there a difference? How about an actor? So if you are able to do all of those things, and if you put that into a perspective, into a character or a writer, or what am I doing, if you take that intention of what am I doing right now in this moment, whether I'm saying a dialogue or whether I'm reading a script or whether I'm reading a story to a child, a bedtime story, what is the end result? What am I doing? Without worrying about the feeling of it, just feeling the feeling as opposed to acting the feeling, if you know what I'm saying, then you're acting. You're acting. Now, there are times when you can't really, if you're playing Lady Macbeth or Antigone, and when you have to kill people or have a murder scene, right? You can't really think about those sensory details or tell a story about that. And then those require some sort of course, skills, but imagination. But then again, if you're a storyteller and you're imagining the beautiful world of storytelling, then you can very well equip yourself with playing those type of characters, the strong characters, right? So that, I think, is, yeah. And the second part of the question, I was 19 when I came to America. I come from a family of actors and teachers and storytellers and musicians and singers and dancers and philanthropists who all give away their work of art and of artwork as a way of giving back and telling stories and influencing with stories. And I wanted to carry that tradition here, so when I got married at the age of 19 and moved to America, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts, that was our first home. My husband went to MIT. And within a month, I looked at Namrose, my husband, and said, okay, so where is theater? What do we do? He goes, well, you can audition for MIT Drama Shop is doing a play. They were doing 2 productions, Caucasian Chalk Circle, and the second one was Sam Shepard's Chicago. Not the Chicago the musical, Sam Shepard's one act play, Chicago. So I said, I want to audition for all of them, everything. I know how to sing also, so I'll do it. So now I'm thinking audition, meaning you get your script and you just do the role, like your cast, like that's what audition is, like how well you are reading the, playing the part. reading the scripts that you're already cast in. I did not understand the process or the what do you call it? The ritual that's required, the structure behind that American audition system, or anywhere audition system. So I just went and I went to the director and said, okay, I got the script, so which is the part that I'm playing? He says, honey, you have to audition. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm ready to read. Let's go. And that was my first experience of understanding. And at the Kresge Auditorium, at the age of 19, understanding, wow, I'm on the stage. And also a pang of disappointment. What? I don't have the part? I'm not in it? So then when I understood it, I went the next day. The first day he told me to watch, I watched. The next day I went and I'm like, okay, all right, I get it. I don't want a monologue. I guess I can do any monologue. So I read from the Caucasian Chalk Circle. I read a part, and then I read with some actors. I was scared as shit, but that was okay. And then the second day I got a call back for Sam Shepard's balcony. It was called The Balcony Scene. And Chicago. There were two plays. I got cast in both. I didn't get cast in The Balcony Scene. I got cast in the Chicago, and also Caucasian Chalk Circle. And that was my first experience as in the American theater at the Kresge Auditorium at MIT, which I did not know what the heck I was doing. Then I went on to do more shows, and my first introduction as to what that means. Is it a ritual? Is it a process? To this day, I still don't know, but I do know that a process is what you do when you're auditioning, because you're preparing, you're researching, you're studying, you become a student. And a ritual is something that you do right before you're about to perform, because you've already done the hard work. I'm rambling, so I'm going to stop talking.
Testing. You're fabulous. Sure, they heard that. So Jay.
Yes, Donna.
Jay. So what are some things you would tell someone who is just starting out in acting?
Just starting out, okay. First, let me just say, this is the first time I've ever had a microphone and no, I gotta finish it. There's more to it. This is the first time I've ever had a microphone and had to stay seated. So, it's gonna be a challenge. I can do it. If you're first starting out in acting, be ready for a lot of rejection when you audition. You're not gonna get the part right away. I mean, maybe you will, but usually there's a lot of rejection. So you have to have a thick skin. Don't take it personal. You're not gonna get cast in everything you audition for. Also, I don't want to say this. I think you really have to know why you want to be an actor. Why do you want to do it? You have to do it for the right reasons. You have to do it for the love of it. You know, you have to love it. You don't want to just go, hey, I want to be in a movie, or be really cool if, I was like on TV, or that'd be fun. It's something that has to be like inside of you. And I kind of always knew it was from when I was very young. So if you just feel that burden, no matter what your age is, if you feel that burning desire to get up on stage, like, I really want to do that, you want to get up and do it, then you really kind of like almost need to do it. So you have to do it for the right reasons. You want to do it, and you feel like you almost like have to. And also, if you're just starting out, I wish someone told me this when I was starting out. Just, it's weird, it kind of seems backwards, but be really patient. Be patient with it. It's a process, The whole thing, it just takes, you gotta really work at it, I mean, yes, there are naturals, but, you can work at it. It's a craft. You have to work really, really hard, and you can always learn. No matter how experienced you are, you can always learn something. Take a free improv class or do something new. The Phantasmagoria, like, wow, that's insane. I don't think I could ever do it, but try it, So take risks, put yourself out there, and yeah, have fun with it. It's fun.
I have some commentary on that.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear?
Yes, Donna has
I
commentary.
have commentary. As I was probably about 20 years old, I was in SU acting, drama department,
Yes.
and I was working as a costume mistress for Syracuse Stage.
Awesome.
And I was in charge of Rita Gam. Is anybody old enough here to remember Rita Gam? She was a huge movie star in the 50s, married to Sidney Lumet, gorgeous, wrote books on beauty, and she was a fabulous actor. Syracuse Stage, she was in a production of The Cherry Orchard. And I was her, as I said, I was her dresser, so I was in her dressing room all the time, taking care of her costumes. And she said to me one day while holding my puppy, a German Shepherd, she said, dogs are so much better than people. One thing she said to me. And she said, don't do it. Don't be an actor. She said, it's a hard life. Here she is in her 50s, away from her family in Syracuse, New York. And she was a famous movie star. And that stuck with me. There's noise in the background. You have this dream, you want to do this, but you have family saying to you, well, when are you going to get over your hobby? I don't know if anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
When are you going to get a real job? So it's...
Great point.
But
There is a lot
to
of pain.
have
There's
that
a lot of
hunger, that hunger to still do it despite all the crap in the background, that's great. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
You've been okay, I know at some point you're going to demonstrate.
Can I add to that question?
Yes.
I think the best thing that you can do if you are getting into acting would be to surround yourself with it. I think the best actors are the actors who read books, read plays, read scripts, read articles, read everything. I find the best actors to be actors who have world experience outside of acting. Take the shitty job at Dunkin' Donuts. You don't know how many plays there are about people working shitty jobs, and they're the best ones. And the people that you meet are all characters who you are going to meet in scripts. So read, surround yourself watching theater, find things that inspire you. Whether it's within acting or it's separate, like Binaifer, I know she paints, and that inspires her. I like to collage. Fill your life with love and creativity, and the rest will come. And inspire yourself, and allow others to inspire you too.
Yeah, you're right. Most people know I did 10 years as a police officer, and you can get the way into learning how to act and write, do the jobs you didn't expect, enrich your life. So how do we feel about method acting? Anybody want to feel that?
Yeah, I think people's definitions of method acting are largely different than what Lee Strasberg originally intended. I was lucky and blessed enough to go to a school where my method teacher was a direct descendant of Strasberg and studied with him. And I think when people think about method, they're largely thinking about emotional recall and systems that he rejected at the end of his life. When you're thinking about method, and I recommend everyone read his book. Read all the books. Read Stella Adler, read Lee Strasberg, Uta Hagen, read them all, because they're all incredibly similar, and they're all, eventually you make your own method, and you take pieces from everyone's method and find what works for you. But I think when people think method, they're thinking of like Jared Leto and Suicide Squad sending a dead rat to Margot Robbie and things like that, which are not method. And so before, like, not that you're throwing the around, but before people throw the term around, I think they should do some serious research into what it is, whether it's promoting it or taking away from it, because you don't want to. There are things that were associated with it that were not helpful and could be harmful. And so, yeah, I recommend everyone do their own research and decide what works for them.
Yeah, I'll add to that. I didn't know what method acting was a few years ago, right? Like the audition process. So I remember we had just moved to Syracuse, and by this time I knew what auditions was. I had a resume and everything, like half page. And I forget, it was Visit from a Small Planet. I think that was the play, if I remember that. And this character had a lot of props in it. So if on the first day of rehearsal, like we had just finished our table read, and then the second day we were going to block it and put it on the floor. And if the woman carried a pen, then I needed a pen. And the woman carried a purse, then I needed a purse, and like actual props. And then I would get into that head, and finally the director said, "Will you stop method acting?" And I'm like, "Huh? What does that mean? What? No. What? So will you stop method acting?" So then I got into my head that playing with props and wanting to be prepared with props was method acting. Until someone said, that was a wrong note. You do what works for you. That had nothing to do with you. You don't even know what method acting was, so you weren't even aware of that phrase or of that note. So obviously it didn't make sense to you. So obviously you were not going for method acting, right? So I just wanted to kind of add to what Carolyn said. You will be told many, many things. You have to I feel that when you are auditioning, since we're talking about auditions, but it's for anything, whether you're preparing for a show, you're auditioning, whether it's film, whether it's on screen, whether it's a self-tape, whether it's just reading or preparing for a presentation in your office, what have you, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? And what is it that you have to do to the other to get the end result? If you have that story in your mind and in your heart, and then if you do it with that intention, not wanting to act smart or not wanting to sound, great, or wanting to compete with the other or whatever, right? We all get in our own heads sometimes. That's enough. That's enough, I think, sometimes. Yeah.
Just want to add to that. Awesome. I just think it's almost like case by case, right? So what works for me might not work for Binaifer or Carolyn, what works for Joe, Dave. There's, you just have to kind of, just kind of stay loose and free with it, keep it simple. You don't want to, just take a little bit from everybody. That's really what I've done, just watching great actors on film, on stage, just take a little bit and whatever works for you, If you're acting on stage with an actor and you're like, man, probably not during the rehearsal process because it's not good. As a director, I feel like actors shouldn't direct other actors because you just want to act. You want to be thinking about what they're doing. You just got to do your character. So I don't think actors should direct other actors. That's just my personal. But maybe after the show, go have a cup of coffee, whatever, and talk it out and just learn from other people. Just pull a little bit. And I do want to say this. Simplify. Just keep it simple. I get in my head a lot. I get nervous. My dad, God rest his soul, greatest salesman on the planet. Of course, I'm going to say that. He was a really good salesman. He could sell anybody on anything. He would have been a great actor too, but he only acted like in high school. So I was a teenager, and I was ready. He's going, wait, what are you so upset about? What's going on with you? You look, well, Dad, I'm just nervous, about this. I want to act. And it's just so hard. Anyway, son, acting's not hard. Acting is reacting. And he walked away. And I went, wow. As simple as that sounds, Just keep it simple. That's all you gotta do. Okay, I'm done, because I can ramble.
No, that's great.
Wendy! You're so funny. Wendy, you're fired.
Thank you, team, for responding to that. I still remember my Uda Hagen book. Uda Hagen. So I have a question on rehearsals. We talked a little bit about choosing a play. Sorry. Dream roles. Is there a dream role? I think we're going to lose time soon. Is there a dream role waiting for you that you're hankering for somebody to do a production of, so you can audition?
What it's going to be? Binaifer, don't you have a dream role that you want? Carolyn, oh, you want me to go first? Okay, I'll go first. I don't know. I'm kind of on the spot because I love acting. I always act, but I'm kind of shifting into directing right now. So I got my director brain going. But
What play would you
well,
like?
like in terms of Shakespeare. Oh, and I'll get a little plug in. Syracuse Shakespeare Park still has 3 shows. Okay, so go to Thornton Park. It's a free show. The Taming of the Shrew for Syracuse Shakespeare Park. Please go to that. I had to get a shameless plug in there for them. I really love, well, my favorite Shakespeare play, literally, is Much Ado About Nothing. And I've already played Benedict, and I've already played Don Perry, but there's a couple more. I mean, you know, get a little older, Leonardo, that's a great role in that. And I like A Midsummer Night's Dream, I like the comedies. And Midsummer Night's Dream, one of the mechanicals like Bottom or Peter Quince. Everybody's going, who's that? It's Shakespeare stuff, sorry. I didn't bore you. That's pretty much it for
Okay.
dream roles.
Good night.
I think long term, because it's not a yet thing, I would love to play Blanche in Streetcar.
Oh,
That's like the dream. But there's so many roles and shows. Really, for me, it's more so a story. Like I would love to be in a production of The Grown Ups, and I don't really care which one of them I'm doing. Would love to do The Wolves before I'm too old. I would love to do Lobby Hero. There's so many shows that I look at it and whenever they pop up, I'm like, and that's what I want to do, and it doesn't really matter about the role. But I will die sad if I don't play Blanche in Streetcar.
I'm with you.
I think that answer, I can't follow anything else. That was great.
So I don't have a dream role, and I'll tell you why. I think when you, this is me, this is Binaifer, when you say, I want that, I wish I can play that. Now that is out in the universe, and everything that you're doing with curiosity and learning, and there is like a shadow of that. But you evolve through life, and that kind of puts a little damper on receiving whatever comes to you in a way, long-term, subconsciously. I used to have dream roles, and I have been fortunate to play many iconic characters, and I'm a character actor, but still I've been able to play some good, meaty roles, and I'm blessed for that. I'm thankful for that. My dream role used to be Puck because it was all my dad, the way, and I got to play it. After I've auditioned 3 times, and finally someone thought, okay, I gotta be a Puck, and I played that. But then I learned through that experience, because in between wanting to play Puck, for the wrong reason, I wasn't doing it because I wanted it, and I'd be good at it, or I knew I'd be good at it. I wanted it because it was a way for me to connect with Dad and what he does. Look, I can be my dad, even though he cannot watch me, he's in India, right? So wrong reasons, and that is exactly why. And when I got it, yes, I played exactly like that. But that's what made me realize, stop chasing the dream, do it. Do the dream. every role you get, think of that, what it is, whatever that is, and just do it for that moment, for that character. Don't divide your attention. So I don't know if it's an idealistic answer.
No, it's great. It's great. You were a fabulous R2D2. I don't know how.
R2D2, yes.
That was fabulous. I think I got the light flash at some point. So I think it's time for the audition process. Oh, okay. Oh, let me see. Oh, well, the rehearsal. We didn't talk about rehearsals at all. The bane of our existence. No. Well, learning lines were the bane of my existence. But rehearsals. This is hard for an Italian. So how do you approach learning lines, getting ready for rehearsal? Do you have a system?
I do.
Yes.
So I like to try and be memorized before the first day of rehearsal, which is a lot of me in my car talking to myself. For me, like, if I have a long monologue, I will write the whole thing out, and by the time I've written it down once, I can kind of bullshit my way through it, and then I go from bullshitting it to practicing it. But I try to be off book by day one of rehearsal. I come in with my binder, my highlighters, my sticky tabs, my pencils, all of the things. I find that outside of your objective for the show, any sort of like script analysis work kind of goes out the window once you're with your partner, because everything in a scene is about the other person, what you want, how they're reacting, and you can't predict what they're gonna do. So outside of coming in with, you know, the lines memorized and understanding of what my character wants and the show as a whole, I don't do any of that other planning work, personally. What I do come in with, though, is Sour Patch Kids. I have Sour Patch Kids every time before I walk on stage, because if you have an anxiety disorder, sour makes your brain stop, and you don't get dry mouth. So that's good, too. But yeah, I mean, I think that's it for me for rehearsals, prior to walking in. Just trying to be memorized, trying to be familiar with the show, and what my character wants.
Thank you.
I agree with everything Carolyn said. And practice. And Sour Patch Kids. By the way, I had never experienced the experience of a Sour Patch Kid until Carolyn and I shared a dressing room at the Red House at one of the shows, and I was getting really anxious and blah, blah, blah. She goes, "Did you try Sour Patch Kid?" I'm like, why do you eat the sweet, the sugar, all the sugar before the show? And she's like, very calmly, she says, well, you know, it calms the anxiety. I'm like, okay, give me one. And then I had one, and I had this look on my face, and she's like, okay, I guess not. I'm like, just give me something lemony. I'll just, like, eat that. And no, lemon Sour Patch is an okay thing. Yeah. And practice. Repeat. I think that rehearse the change that you are going through the rehearsal. Always. And everything that
All right, I'm going to talk real fast, like what my brain is doing, actor and director. So as a director, I want you to be off book as soon as you possibly, I don't want to stress you out, but the faster you get off book and the book is out of your hand, then you really get to the meat and you can really start working the scene. It's hard with the books in your hand. I have had actors say, I can't really get in my head until I start blocking it. I get that, but I really think, I love what Carolyn said, it's very professional. You should try to get as much in your head as possible. So I was struggling with this big time, memorizing lines. Like looking at the book, put my hand over it, reading it out, recording it, playing it back. Wasn't getting anywhere. And this really great actor, veteran guy, Joe Pierce, said, Jay, I got a great idea for you. Write it down on cue cards. So index cards, you write just the cue line, your cue, that other actor's saying, and then you just flip it and you have your line. You can go for a walk. I do a lot of that, ADHD, I'm walking all over the place. Oh, I got up, I blew it. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to sit the whole time, sorry. Well, let me just stand now. No, I'll sit. Sorry. Lost my train of thought now. No, but anyways, the index cards. index cards. So you can go for a walk with them, take it with you, and that helped me do it faster, memorizing the lines by using index cards. And again, I just say it helps to get off book, at least have some of it before the first year. So you gotta try to get off book as much as you can.
Thank you very much, Jay. And that is the end of this part of the program. Thank you very much. And Joe, there you go.